Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Super Breakfast Friends Club.
The show that is here in your ears.
That's where it is. That's where we put it. Did you find it?
I didn't put it there.
I did.
I tried to put it somewhere. Yeah, I know. You took it from me.
Where were you going to put it?
I don't know. In a secret place.
Well, they'll never find it there.
That's the idea.
Oh, you don't want anyone to listen to our show.
This is my shame.
This is the show where we look at TV shows based on video games. And we just kind of put it out there for no one to consume. But if you're out there consuming it, congratulations, you've defeated us. Or Mel, at least.
You've defied my wishes.
Did this show have a theme song? It didn't, right?
No.
Alright, well, no theme song today then. Should we just launch into it? Let's launch into it. I'm Mike.
I'm not.
And this is the show. It's about King of Fighters today.
It has an anniversary.
Yeah, we actually missed it. I've been real sick. So we kind of missed the anniversary by a week. But that's fine. It was 30, I think. Yeah, it was 30.
You've just been collecting migraines.
I know. I don't know why my brain has decided it's become a soup. But I'm just lucky that none of it leaked out. That I know of.
Yeah. I don't want that getting on me.
So I'm still a little bit loopy. So I might need you to carry the show a little bit more than usual.
That's a really bad idea.
Well, we'll see how it goes. What do you know about King of Fighters?
I have seen some of the characters. I know Terry.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the extent of my knowledge.
Yeah, I'm in a similar boat. Some of the characters I recognize. I have always been confused about the difference between Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, and Art of Fighting. It turns out there's a good reason for that. It's because the three series share characters.
Okay.
So Terry and Mai, who are two of the characters I knew, they're actually characters from Fatal Fury.
That's probably why they're like the only two that I know.
Oh yeah, you probably know Fatal Fury. And also, to add to the confusion, the first Fatal Fury game is called Fatal Fury, the King of Fighters.
Why would they do this to us?
So yeah, I was really confused, but I think I've got it all sorted out now. I think I understand. But the one that's having its anniversary is King of Fighters. The first game was The King of Fighters 94, which released in 1994, if you can believe it.
No, that's wild.
It's made by SNK, who we've talked about before because they also made Samurai Showdown.
I know that one.
Yeah, and it was released for the Neo Geo arcade system. Apparently, it started development as a kind of Double Dragon style beat-em-up game called Survivor.
Okay.
It was still going to star characters from Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting. They ended up, I think, I read that they did a couple of location tests, but then they kind of abandoned development on the game. But they still really liked the idea of having a crossover between those two franchises, so eventually it became a crossover fighter.
Okay.
And it has characters from Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, Ikari Warriors, and Psycho Soldier.
That's too many things, and they're all too similar.
And it also, on top of that, has its own original characters that are just for King of Fighters as well.
No, you've lost me.
Apparently, the other characters from their older franchises were there to appeal to older players, and then the new characters were created to appeal to younger players.
Okay.
So it's kind of like SNK's Super Smash Bros., really.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
The big innovation in gameplay with King of Fighters was that they took away the traditional round system. You know how pretty much every arcade fighter, you have 3 rounds, and
right.
Whoever wins 2 of them wins the match.
Round 1 fight.
Yeah. Instead, in King of Fighters, you select a team of 3 characters, and you have to fight with all 3 of those characters. And when you run out of characters, you lose the match.
Can you swap between them?
I don't know if you can. It seems like you, at the beginning of the match, you choose the order they're going to come out in.
Mm-hmm.
And you can call the ones that you're not currently playing as will be standing in the background, and you can call them forwards to like do a move to help you.
Oh, like an assist?
Yeah, but it seems like you have to play them in the order that they... But I could be wrong. I wasn't fully able to grasp the mechanics just from watching videos of it. So if there's any fighting game enthusiasts out there who want to correct me, please do. I would love to understand better.
I'd love to be corrected.
Yeah, the game was very successful. It is now basically considered SNK's flagship series. It's up to King of Fighters 15, and that's not including spin-offs. So
that's too many Kings of Fighters.
Yeah, Street Fighter's only on 6.
They've been on 6. They reused the same number quite a few times.
That's true, yeah. They spend a long time just kind of re-releasing the same game over and over with like 5 new characters each time.
Yeah.
So this show is called The King of Fighters Another Day, and it actually serves as a bridge between 2 of the spin-offs, Maximum Impact 1 and 2.
Okay.
So they released the episodes of this online over the months leading up to Maximum Impact 2 coming out.
Okay. How many episodes is this?
Only 4.
Okay. As long as it's more than just this one, because this was a thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was this not enough for you?
No, not at all. Like it really falls in line with the Samurai Showdown OVA, where it's like, I don't understand a single thing that's happening.
Right. Okay. Well, I think I'll probably be able to clear a lot of it up for you, because this show does kind of assume that you played Maximum Impact.
Right.
So this show is it's the aftermath of Maximum Impact leading into the story of Maximum Impact 2.
Right.
And it's very, once I looked up what happened in those games, I understood this. But until then, yeah, I see what...
This really, it's not like a Pokemon where it's designed to ease you into the world. It knows that you're here because you like the King of Fighters, and it's not going to explain a damn thing.
Yeah, it does expect you to know who these people are and what they're about, really. They also packaged this show with a limited edition of the game. There was a DVD that came with it. It was intended to be packaged with the game in the US, but SNK failed to ship the discs out.
Oh, SNK.
And I'm pretty sure that's the only way it was ever released in the US.
Oh my god.
So the only way to get this in America was to complain about the fact that you didn't receive it. It was animated by Production IG, who we've talked about before. They did the Parappa the Rapper show.
All right.
I'm sure they've done other stuff we've talked about before as well, but that's probably the last time we talked about them. They do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
This episode is called All Out, Chapter 1. It is written by Fumio Asanuma. I couldn't find any other credits for them. They possibly worked as additional crew on .hack, but I'm not sure. And it aired on the 2nd of December 2005. On the Showtime and Gyao websites. And then later it also aired on TV on Animax and Kids Station. So yeah, that's about all I have to say about the making of it. I feel like we blasted through that.
I mean, we're going to blast through this whole thing. This thing is only, I say 10 minutes long, but it's more like 7 and then a bunch of credits.
That's true. Immediately, we are told that we're in Southtown. This is the main location that Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, and the King of Fighters games all take place in.
Okay.
I read a little bit about it. Fans have speculated that Southtown is based on kind of a pastiche of places around Florida for some reason.
Florida?
Yeah, I don't know why Florida in specific. I think it might be because Southtown has a theme park. And Florida is a big, theme park state, so... Or actually, I think it said that Southtown has multiple theme parks.
Okay, so that, yeah.
So, possibly. I think it's probably likely that Southtown is basically just representative of how the Japanese see America in general.
Right.
That would be my guess.
We don't see a whole lot of it here, but what I did see, I was like, is this New York?
It does look America, doesn't it?
Yeah.
At the very least. The area we're in here is clearly like a bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
The dump is here. the junkyard. I guess it's a junkyard because there's a lot of cars stacked in there. But yeah, it's late afternoon and we have a character here looking out of a window. His name is... I want to say his name is Soiree. That's how I would say that word.
That's what it looked like, but it's pronounced very differently in Japanese.
It seems like everybody in both language versions that I watched pronounce it sorry. So
that's not what that is.
I guess they pronounce it sorry, but I'm gonna say the intended name was probably Soiree. He's looking out of a window in this apartment, listening to some kids down below who are saying goodbye to each other. And then his brother, Alba, calls up to him to tell him that he's going out.
Oh, that's his brother.
Yep. Here's some information that you will have missed out on if you hadn't played Maximum Impact. So
it is not made clear at all.
No, these two were introduced in KOF Maximum Impact, where they were the main protagonists.
Okay.
This was a spin-off of the main series, and these two were the stars of it. They were in Maximum Impact, they were in Maximum Impact 2. So as far as I can tell, it doesn't look like they've shown up since. So
maybe they're just living a quiet Southtown life now.
Maybe. But
saving kittens.
They're supposed to be twin brothers.
Twins!
Yeah.
I know twins don't have to be identical, but that is not explicitly clear.
No, and I actually found an interview with the writer of the scenario who said that he had trouble with the idea that they were twins because they look so different. So
right.
Alba Meira, played by Hiroyuki Sato, who played Alba in both games as well. He also played Motoki in Sailor Moon and Drillhorn Gairyu and Mac Tackle in Transformers Victory. I don't know who any of those are.
No.
In English, Alba is played by Jason Woolley, who played Alba in the second game, but not the first one. And that's common with every character here.
Yeah.
Every character in this has the same voice in both of these games for the Japanese version, but only shares this voice with the second game in the English version. So I'm assuming that they probably went with cheaper voices for the second game and ditched the previous cast.
Why do they have to do that? It's so stupid.
I know. Yeah, Jason Woolley, outside of this, pretty much just small roles in a handful of live-action things. The most notable thing to me was that he played a bartender on the Michael J. Fox show.
Okay.
That's it, really.
That's it.
And then sorry Meira played...
Sorry.
He's played by Koji Haramaki, who, again, played Sori in both games as well. Also plays Ma Chao in Dynasty Warriors and Taro in Persona 4. Was that the one you played?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't remember who that is. I forgot to beat it.
Yes, I generally expect that from you.
Listen, shut up.
He also played Dynasmon in Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, the game that you got me for Christmas 5 years ago that I still haven't played.
How do you know it's specifically 5 years ago?
I just do.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I just do. He also played various characters in One Piece. In English, he's played by Ed Bishop, who, again, plays this character in Maximum Impact 2, and that was the only thing on his IMDb page.
Cool.
So I don't know what else he did acting, if anything. I couldn't find anything. So over at the edge of the junkyard, Alba walks up to a little girl who's sitting there playing alone because all her friends have gone home now.
The area is dark and heavily graffitied, and I was like, are we in New York?
Yeah, possibly. It definitely has that look. But it also has like a Streets of Rage look.
Yeah.
So, but this kid, she doesn't seem scared. She lives here though, so, you know.
She came from the dump.
I mean, I grew up in kind of a bad neighborhood, and I never, when I was that age, I never thought of it, you know.
Right. But she has these big, tough, muscly friends. Why would she ever be scared?
Right? Yeah, and Alba, this like gruff martial arts man. Well, he's not even really a martial arts man, he's just a gang member.
Is that his deal?
Yeah, that's their deal. So, the story of Maximum Impact 1 is that Alba and Soiree were adopted by a man called Fate. They were teenage orphans, and when they were 14, they escaped from the orphanage, and they were adopted by a man named Fate, who was the leader of the most powerful gang in Southtown, and he used that power to look after the poor people of the town, like keep an eye out for the less fortunate. But then 6 months before the beginning of the game, Fate is killed by a man named Duke, who is the main villain of Maximum Impact. And he takes over the town with his gang, who are called, I think, Mephistopheles. The Mephistopheles gang.
Okay, so that's why Soiree is like, we fought hard to take this back.
Yeah, because the story of Maximum Impact is them taking the town back from the Mephistopheles gang.
Okay.
So, you know, it's very sweet, this whole interaction with the little girl, and like as Alba takes her home to make sure she gets there safely, Soiree's like waving from the window.
Yeah,
it's like,
they're good boys.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really get to see much of Alba, but I definitely came out of this liking Soiree a lot.
We don't get to see much of Alba, except he walks the little girl home and he rescues 2 kittens specifically.
That's true.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, later on in the night, Soiree is arm wrestling some guy, and another guy bursts in to tell him there's trouble outside. Did you see how messy this apartment was?
Yeah, I mean, look at where they live. I would expect that of them.
Oh yeah, I know, but I just was... I saw this apartment, we see it for a moment, just the briefest of moments, and I was like, someone spent so long drawing all that trash.
Yeah, it's a good set design.
They run outside, and the city's on fire, or part of it at least. The block's on fire, I guess.
Yeah, I was led to believe it was much bigger, but it's like specifically this block.
Yeah, and all of Soiree's friends want to run, but he thinks about his brother, and he's like, no, we fought for this city, we have to do something.
We can't just let the fire win the fight.
Yeah, he's got to go punch the fire.
Yeah, because we don't know why this fire has started.
No. So Soiree sends his friends to go wake up the rest of the gang to help while he runs towards the fire. And then we see a woman running away, and she spots him running towards it, and she decides to help too. So she sheds her clothes like a cocoon.
Right. She's just perfectly dressed up in this sexy, revealing outfit underneath.
I know, it's so funny, because I thought it might have been her. I already knew that she was going to be in this. And I recognized the head, but the body, I was like, she's just dressed like a normal woman in the city in the 2000s. That can't be Mai. But it is. It's Mai. It's Mai Shiranui. She leaps
into the air, and her clothes just cast off, and we see her true form.
And she just disappears to the rooftops. So yeah, Mai Shiranui, one of the handful of characters from this series that I already know. She was first introduced in Fatal Fury 2 in 1992. So she is from the Fatal Fury series, not the King of Fighters series.
Okay, so I only know the Fatal Fury characters.
It sounds like it, yeah.
Actually, no. I recognize the red hair guy from this.
Oh, okay, yeah. He is a King of Fighters original, so...
I think he's the only King of Fighter I know.
Okay. I know Mai because she's been in a lot of the Capcom versus SNK games.
Right. That's probably where I know her from.
Apparently she's also in Street Fighter 6 as a DLC character.
Good for her.
Yeah. She's played by Akoya Sogi, who was the original voice of Mai. She'd been playing her from Fatal Fury 2 up until King of Fighters 2002.
Wow.
She is no longer playing the role, but that's quite a long time. That's like 10 years she was doing it.
Right, you'd never get that over here.
No. The internet claims that she has many other roles in TV, movies, and stage plays, but it doesn't list any of them.
Just trust us.
I checked like 5 different websites, and most of them do say that, but then all they list is Mai Shiranui, and then nothing else. Just
maybe
like...
she plays the same character in all of those things.
Yeah, maybe.
The stage play.
I mean, technically this is her playing her in TV, I guess.
Yeah?
In English, Mai is played by Cheryl Stanley, who, again, plays Mai in Maximum Impact 2, but not the first one, or anywhere else.
Right.
She also plays the White Bomber in Bomberman Generation and the Bomberman Jetta's game, but not the Bomberman Jetta's anime.
Oh.
So we won't be speaking about her when we cover that.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Cheryl. So we see that there's a traffic jam being caused by the fire. And there's a pop star in there who's late for a rehearsal.
This scene was so funny to me because it's like she has such anime protagonist look. Everybody else looks like a pretty typical person. And then there's this purple-haired, decked out...
Okay, there's a reason for this, and that's because this is Athena Asamiya from Psycho Soldier. So she looks different than everybody else because she's from a different game entirely.
A totally different game.
Yeah, Psycho Soldier, released in 1987. I don't know too much about it. I just know that it was the first game to ever have a vocal soundtrack.
Huh.
Which I guess makes sense if she's a pop star.
Yeah.
ボールが光放ちアテナの姿照らし出すの
I mean, you don't need to have pop songs to believe it.
No. Yeah, she's a pop star with psychic powers, and she's also a descendant or possibly reincarnation of the goddess Athena.
Okay.
So that's her.
I am looking at the box art for Psycho Soldier, and yeah, it's quite a different art direction.
Yeah, they've changed her to fit in better with this, but there's still remnants of of that order, because that's a much more. It's like a manga look, isn't it? It's like a kind of pre-Sailor Moon Magical Girls manga art style.
It looks like a PC-98 visual novel.
Yeah, or it looks like Magical Princess.
Minky Momo?
Yeah. Has that kind of look. Now I have an excuse to put the theme song in.
No.
Yeah, she's played by Haruna Ikezawa, who has been playing Athena since King of Fighters 98 and is still playing her now.
Pretty good.
So yeah, she wasn't the original Athena, because Athena had already been around for 4 years in King of Fighters and like almost 10 years in her own series. But she's been doing it for a long, long time now.
Yeah.
Like, coming up for 2 decades of Athena. She was also the voice of Hiroko in Hamtaro. That's Hamtaro's owner. What?
Good. It's just, nobody ever talks about Hamtaro in 2024.
Oh, I love Hamtaro.
Everyone loves Hamtaro. They say they don't, they're lying.
I wish that Nintendo's Hamtaro Game Boy games had come first so that we could talk about it on this show.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe April Fools.
There's a lot of things on that April Fool's list.
Yeah. She also played Momoka in Sergeant Frog and Kaimi in One Piece. I don't know who that is, but good for her.
No. Who is the voice of the pieces in One Piece? How many pieces are there?
There's only one.
Then why would it be one piece? That's a whole thing.
Because the treasure was left in one piece. I think that's what it is. It's something like
Sounds
that.
suspicious.
She also played Porun in Precure. What is it? Pretty something.
I know what you're talking about, but the full name escapes me.
Is it just Pretty Cure? Cure? Precure?
Yeah, I think so.
Something, whatever it is. She was also the original Japanese voice of Coco Bandicoot, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, yeah.
In English, Athena is played by Lily Kong, who, again, like all the others, did the voice in the second Maximum Impact only. Other than that, she just had small roles in live-action things. I wrote down what 2 of those roles were, just to give you an idea of the kind of flavor of them.
Okay.
Wife in Audience.
Okay.
And Brothel Cook.
Oh, no.
Hey, it could be anything.
She's the cook. I am aware of that. Still, you don't even get a name?
No name, no. That's how you know, isn't it? When it's only bartender or detective or...
miscellaneous voices.
Yeah. If I ever make something like that, I'm going to give even the most incidental of characters a name.
Good.
So Athena reaches the building and Mai spots her. They know each other. They recognize each other. They're on a first name basis.
So I can understand why Athena was drawn to this mysterious little girl, because she is some type psychic. But why did Mai have a vision?
Did Mai have a vision?
She said she did or something.
She said you too. I don't know if she was necessarily referring to a vision. It might have just been like, she maybe, because we saw her watch Soiree run in.
Right.
So she might have been just like, oh, you're doing this too?
Oh, okay.
Because
it was unclear.
Because until she saw Soiree running in, she was running away as well with everybody else.
Gotcha.
So I feel like Mai came back specifically just to help Soiree, and then when she saw Athena, she was like, "You're being an idiot too."
Okay, because it comes right after. She's like, "There's a little girl in there."
Yeah.
Like, nobody asked.
Nobody asked, but now we all know. Yeah, because Athena sensed it with her psycho soldier powers. Well,
now we all know because Soiree comes exploding out of the window into a car.
Yeah, as if called by by circumstances. So Mai is sitting on this car. She's like crouched on it. And then she just kind of hops off to make room for Soiree to crash land on it.
Right. She can't stop that man.
Destroying the car. But everyone's fine and they just get up and walk away from it. It all just happens so fast.
He's saved by his big muscles.
And yeah, it's the same kid that Alba walked home earlier, of course.
Right.
It's obviously was going to be. But anyway, she's safe. And now Iori Yagami is here.
The guy with the wild hair.
Yes. Iori was introduced in King of Fighters 95, which was the second game in the King of Fighters series. And he was introduced specifically to be the main rival for Kyo Kusanagi, the main protagonist of King of Fighters.
Okay.
You might recognize Kyo. I know him from being a spirit in Smash Brothers.
I don't know. I didn't do all that side questy stuff.
No, but Kyo does not appear in this. I think he's in the next episode.
No, I have no idea who that man is.
Sorry to this man.
Iori Yagami is played by Kunihiko Yasui, who we've talked about before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he played Parappa's dad in the Parappa the Rapper anime.
Why is this just Parappa 2?
Yeah, right? The same studio, one of the same actors.
It's basically the same thing.
Basically the same plot.
Takes place in a city, a nebulous city.
And there's an angry bunny.
What if we just see Parappa as a background character?
I'd love that. He should be on a poster or something.
Yeah.
You know, like how in that Mario movie they just put the Sanrio logo in there randomly because they made a ton of Sanrio films as well. Every studio should be doing that shit.
For real.
Who cares if you don't own the character? Let's do it anyway.
Just make it off-brand enough that people will know.
Yeah, but on-brand enough that people will know.
That people won't know.
In English, Iori is played by Eric Summerer. This and the game following this were the only acting credits that I could find listed. His website says that he's in Metal Slug and some other game. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of it.
Wow, this man has 2 credits to his name and you can't be bothered to remember them.
No, because listen, he also was credited as a production intern on Sesame Street, Cinderelmo.
Cinderelmo.
And listen, don't you shit talk my research on this man, because listen to this. He seems to make a living reading audiobooks now. That's most of what was on his website. And he's been co-hosting a board game podcast called The Dice Tower since 2009.
Well, good for him. It's still going?
It's still going. I went and I checked. I looked it up on Spotify. The most recent episode was like a week ago, so...
That is some longevity.
Yeah. He must really like board games.
I guess.
Can you imagine if we're still going in 20 years?
If we are, just kill me.
No, then who's gonna kill me? Iori shoves the little kid to the ground for no real reason that I can see.
It's just to show us that he's a bad dude.
Yeah. He's a bad guy.
We know that Sori's a good guy because he's nice to kids.
Yeah. But this is the guy who shoves kids to the ground even though they're not really in his way.
He could just step to the side a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, Sori demands an apology for the child. He receives a punch.
I love that part. He's so adamant that he give a full apology with his whole heart to this little girl.
Yeah. Yeah, he really cares about that kid, and I love that. I love him.
Yeah.
He's great.
He is great. He's just a big himbo.
Yeah. They fight for a while, and Iori kicks Sori into a burning church where the fight continues. It's so dramatic.
Yeah.
Melodramatic, even.
But I mean, look at this Hot Topic punk. Do you expect anything less?
No, I guess not. The girl runs in after them. I don't know if she's trying to break up the fight or if she's just worried about Sori.
I think she's just worried about Sori.
He ends up having to run over to protect her as the ceiling falls in.
He exploded out of a building with her. He shields her from a collapsing building.
Yeah, but it's okay because Athena holds the roof up with her psychic powers.
With her brain powers.
And then Mai does some booby magic.
Booby magic?
That's what it is, right?
That's all I noticed. She pulled that fan out of her cleavage. I don't know where she could have stored it except in the booby dimension.
Those breasts were so lovingly animated.
They jiggled so beautifully.
But they're like that in the games as well. If you go look at like the sprite animations for Mai in the games, someone who animates her really likes boobs.
That's so unexpected of somebody in that industry.
I don't think I've ever seen such
bountiful boobies.
Well, yeah, but a lot of the time when you see boobs in a video game, they don't have like the weight and the heft that a real breast would have. You know?
Yeah.
But there's so much attention to detail in Mai's. As an animator, I gotta respect the craft.
Right, as an animator, I'm staring at her boobies.
I am looking for research purposes.
I am looking at an animated GIF, and those are some bouncy boobies.
Is it the one where she's leaning way forward and swinging from side to side?
No, it's like a battle stance.
Yeah, I'm also describing one of those.
Oh, yeah, look at them.
Look at them go, right?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Mesmerizing.
It's like an executive toy.
But instead of metal clacking balls, it's boobies.
You see what I mean? You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There was some love put into that animation.
So much love. Spilled all over that animation.
So anyway, yeah, I don't know exactly what it is that she was doing because the scene cuts off. But she does some kind of special move, and I don't really understand the impact of it. I don't know what it did.
No. It's something fiery. She added more fire to the fire.
Or did she put out the fire?
Fight fire with fire?
Maybe it was some kind of windy move. I don't know.
I don't know.
She does use... the reason I was looking through her move list is because I was trying to figure out what move this might have been. And she does have moves that use fans, but they do all seem to be fiery moves. There's a lot of fire moves that she does. So yeah, I'm not sure. Possibly Blossom Storm. Whatever it was, it's translated differently here than it is normally.
Right.
So anyway, now we cut to the morning where the whole church has collapsed in, and Mai and Athena are watching Sori as he digs through the rubble of the church, trying to find Iori.
He's not just the lone man digging through the rubble of this church while they watch. He has the little girl asleep on his back.
Yeah, that too.
This man is an unstoppable force.
An unstoppable force for looking out for his neighborhood. Also, this is another thing that just really makes me love this character, is that even after, he never did get that apology he wanted from Iori, and Iori put the child in even more danger, but he spent all night digging through the rubble because he doesn't know that Iori got out safely, and he's worried about him. What a good boy!
What a dork.
No, he's a sweetheart. I love him.
He is a sweetheart. Iori doesn't deserve his kindness.
No, not at all. And I love that when he's saying, like, that guy might still be buried under here. Mai, who knows Iori, is just like, but it's Iori. Like, who cares?
Let him go.
Yeah, I did wonder. I wondered if maybe Iori wasn't in the first Maximum Impact, but apparently he was. So presumably Sori and Alba have met Iori, but I guess didn't really get to know him. They probably just fought him once.
Right. Beat him up and went about their day.
Yeah. Whereas Mai, by this point, has known him for years, I guess. But yeah, Athena suddenly remembers her concert and leaves. At first I thought, it's morning now, so isn't it a bit late? But then I remembered it was a rehearsal she was missing, not the actual concert, so...
Right.
She's probably still got some time.
Yeah.
And then Maya's like, well, yeah, I guess I might as well go too.
Don't want to sit here and do this alone. That would be weird. Just watching him lift rubble.
This is when Alba shows up and tells Sori that he just saw Iori and he's fine.
Right, he's like, that guy right there? What do you mean?
Yeah, I just saw him just now. He could be lying, though.
Just to get him to stop.
Yeah.
He's like, anyway, I've got these 2 kittens that I think we should play with.
Yes, he's just got 2 kittens now.
They're the last people that he had to save.
Yeah, the last people that needed to be evacuated from the burning city block. Just happened to be 2 kittens. I love that it's a literal save the cat moment.
I know, it's so good.
Yeah, Sori collapses with relief. And I guess just goes to sleep in the rubble.
We see that Sori is a good boy throughout this entire thing, but we see Alba as a good boy just because he literally shows up with kittens.
Yeah. I read about how Alba was, when they were designing him, the idea was to just make him completely unrealistically cool.
Yeah.
And I guess they did that, but I think I like Sori more.
I think Sori's the cooler one.
Yeah. Alba feels like, I feel like they didn't quite hit that effortless cool that they were trying to go for.
Right.
He feels a bit too... It feels a bit too much like they're trying too hard to make him cool.
Yeah.
Whereas Soiree is just cool. I like him. So the camera pulls up. We see a park full of people and the peaceful sky in the city. And that's the end.
That's why I was like, is that Central Park? And then there's like skyscrapers.
Yeah.
Like, this looks like New York.
It's Southtown, Mel.
It's in Florida.
It's not. It's allegedly Florida. Could be anywhere. Yeah, what we saw of it here definitely looked more like New York than any other city to me. But, you know, what did you think of the credits song?
It's pretty good.
Wasn't it so painfully of its era?
Yes, it was.
Like, it was the most mid-2000s song I've ever heard.
It's not a play, not a game, 'cause we're born in worthless world. Who can explain a reason why? What we can get is what deserves. There's something we can justify. Who needs a mercy? Come and try. Don't care how you feel.
I liked it. It was nostalgic.
Yeah, that's what makes it great.
Yeah, it's called Regret by Dakota Star. Yeah, it really put me in mind of that exact era and like the kind of game. Like, there were a lot of games coming out in this period that had music that sounded like this.
Right.
Like, it reminded me a lot of the F-Zero GX soundtrack. Did you stay till the end of the credits?
I did. I was like, there's no way that this is all credits. It made me more confused.
Yeah, I definitely had to do some Googling after I read it.
It makes sense now. I'm looking at it now. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Because it sounded like another instance where, like, somebody's been possessed. Why is everybody always getting possessed in these fighting games by some evil spirit?
Yeah, the text at the end, it basically summarizes the story within the context of the games for us, which is more meaningful if you have played the games, I think. I was very interested specifically in the part about Iori.
Yeah, like he's gotten possessed or something.
So it says that he was recently relieved of the power of Yasakani or something. That's what it said?
Yeah, Yasakani.
So I looked into that. Yasakani is the name of his clan, apparently, that he's descended from.
So he's Sasuke.
Remind me what Sasuke's deal is.
The Uchiha clan. They got wiped out by his brother's crazy power.
I guess so. I didn't look too much into the clan in general, but they pass down the ability to create like a magical fire. He can create fire out of his hands and control it.
Mm-hmm.
Usually. But apparently in King of Fighters 11, which was released about 2 months before this, a character named Ash Crimson stole that power from him. So that's what it's referring to here.
Okay.
He, in this episode, he has recently lost the ability to control fire.
Okay.
Because it's been stolen from him. So, with that knowledge, I'm thinking maybe he was here because he was looking for the source of the fire, thinking it might have been Ash.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that, if that's the case, that explains a lot about what was happening here. Because this show, it doesn't tell us anything about how the fire started. It doesn't give us any reason why Iori is here. He's just here. But he did, I think when he showed up, he was like looking around at the rooftops. So yeah, I think he was here looking for Ash, looking to get his fire powers back.
Yeah.
I liked this.
I didn't dislike it, but it didn't give us much, you know?
It didn't give us much. It was only 10 minutes long as well.
It was 7 minutes long.
Okay. Yeah.
They really wanted us to have played the first game.
Definitely. It's definitely 100% this is a midquel.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're supposed to have played the first one, and this is purely here to get us hyped up for the second one.
Yes.
And there isn't really much else to it beyond that. Also, it seems like this is just where this story ends. from what I saw, it looks like each episode focuses on a different set of characters.
Right.
So the next episode doesn't continue on from here. The continuation from here is just the game. And then the next episode of this just focuses on a different set of King of Fighters characters.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that it made me interested in playing the game.
No, that's just... Fighting games are so confusing!
Yeah, and it's difficult even to research them because the fans of fighting games don't care about the plot either. So, like, you go on the wikis and they are just documenting all the moves and all the different techniques you can do. And I'm like, what about the plot, though? And it's like, plot?
There's no plot in this fighting game.
You're on the wrong wiki, dude.
Right.
So, yeah, but I managed to piece together what was going on good enough, I think. I hope I've explained it to you in a way that now you understand this episode better.
I do.
Okay. And I hope I got it all right. Let me know if I didn't, anyone out there.
Anyone out there who actually knows the lore of King of Fighters?
They're out there. They're just... The people who know the lore aren't the kind of people who add to the wikis, is the problem.
They're the ones writing fanfic?
Yeah. Probably. This definitely made me... That's the thing. This didn't make me want to play the game, but it did make me like the characters.
Yeah.
I think it did a good enough job on that. Well, mostly Soiree. I like Mai more now just because she made me laugh a couple times. But this was really just the Soiree show.
Yeah.
It endeared me to him a lot. It's a real shame that he hasn't really appeared for the past 20 years.
Right, he's the best character.
Yeah, but the game that this was leading into was basically his last appearance, sadly.
That's sad.
It is sad. I wonder why. I mean, I guess he was just created to be a character for a spin-off, but I would
spin some more offs.
Well, spin some more offs, or just adopt him into the main series, please. I like him.
Yeah.
Bring him back. I watched the dub. I didn't notice any real differences. The acting was terrible, though.
Oh, no.
Like, real bad.
We took back this town, didn't we? We can't run away now. If we did, Alba would kill us for sure. You hear me? It's up to us to save this town.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, like I said, I think they went with some really cheap voice actors for this.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's 2006. People weren't really hiring known actors for video games yet.
True.
There's only a handful of games from this period that had really good voice acting. For the most part, we didn't really mind when the voice acting was bad in games at this point.
We kind of loved it, and we're mad when they change it.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, remember when Metal Gear got rid of David Hayter and brought in Kiefer Sutherland?
Yeah, and everyone got furious.
Yeah, I don't even consider that game canon because it doesn't have David Hayter in it.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
He is Snake.
The wild thing is that he isn't even a bad actor. He's a good one.
Right.
It's just that he had a more cartoony voice.
Yeah.
But I think that cartoony voice was kind of necessary because when I played Metal Gear Solid 5 and it's just three guys, you're just listening to tape-recorded conversations between three guys who all sound the same. I didn't know what was going on anymore.
That's a good point. I have that problem sometimes with characters that look too much alike. I'm like, who is who?
Which
and
one
why
is
do I
this?
care?
I don't know which supernatural brother is which.
I only know one of their names.
To be fair, I've never watched the show, but still.
I think I know which one is Dean. I don't know the other one's name.
Dawn. Dean and Dawn.
It should be.
Dean and Sheen.
Dean and Jean.
Anyway, you want to know about the legacy?
Well, it's clearly not Soiree.
No, I don't think... Other than the fact that, obviously, Maximum Impact 2 picks up directly after this show, I don't think there's really much of an effect beyond that.
I'm sad.
No, it's clearly meant to be fully supplemental, you know?
Yeah.
This is a show that was made to build hype, but not much else. It's not meant to move the plot forward in any meaningful way. It's just meant to go, hey, these characters, you're going to see them again in 3 months. Are you ready? Here they are.
Goodbye. You'll never see them again.
But yeah, there's 2 more episodes. I would be interested in watching them.
I thought you said there were 4 episodes.
There's 3 more episodes. I would be interested.
You've been doing that a lot lately.
Well, I'm just not good at counting, and my brain is mush, as previously mentioned.
Yeah, but 2 and 3?
What
You
about?
can't get much lower.
When else did I do it?
Yesterday or the day before when we were playing Monster Hunter.
Well, maybe we should keep an eye on that.
You said something. Oh, you said something was your favorite, like, 3-word phrase, and it was 4.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. You got anything you want to add?
Not really. Fighting games exist in a realm all their own, and I have no idea how to understand or access them.
No, Smash Brothers is the only one. I can usually button mash my way through the single player well enough.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to, like, fighting another player, nah. Smash Brothers is the only one I'm any good at.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I have never been any good at doing, like, quarter circle back, quarter circle forward, any of those complex joystick commands. Something happens in the process, and there's just, like, an up somewhere where there shouldn't be.
Yeah, I'm not good at it. And, you know, I've tried to be, but I love fighting games. I love the characters. I love I always want to see all the endings.
Right?
When the 3DS came out, and there were no games on it yet, I got Street Fighter 4 with it, because there wasn't anything else.
I remember that.
And I played through, like, every character's story, but I literally I put it on the easiest mode and I button mashed.
Right?
Until I saw the ending cutscene, because that's all, I just wanted to see the ending cutscene. But I loved it.
Yeah.
I was just bad
Fighting
at
games
it.
always have these huge, colorful casts, and it's locked behind having to play a fighting game.
I know. I want some spin-offs that aren't fighting. You know, give me, like, Street Fighter RPG. I would love that.
I probably would too.
If I could just get, like, a turn-based RPG. I mean, that's basically what Shenmue started out as. It was
a turn-based RPG.
No, but it was Shenmue started development as a Virtua Fighter RPG, and Shenmue is one of my favorite games.
It might not have a hot wild vision, but it's close enough.
Yeah. You can even kind of see that Ryo was originally supposed to be Akira.
Yeah, because they look the same.
They look the same, and Ryo even has a band-aid on his face where Akira's scar is. So.
Pretty sure we talked about that in our episode about
Virtua
Fighter.
Either about Virtua Fighter or Shenmue. It could have been either one.
Or Sega Hard Girls.
That's right. Man, we've talked about Virtua Fighter a lot, considering I've never played it.
Considering I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. If you would like to help support our show, you could head to patreon.com/Super Breakfast Friends Club and join our other club VIPs, Mark Kelly and Jamie Core.
The coolest VIPs.
What does VIP stand for?
Very important person?
Well, I wanted a joke answer.
You didn't get one.
I'm Skull Pirate Mike, and you can find me on the internet in various places. Blue Sky is probably your best bet, where I put updates for the show. So if anything goes wrong with the show, you can find out what the heck happened.
It was the migraine.
There was probably a migraine. Mel, would you like to promote yourself?
Yeah, I'm Mel. Don't find me. Don't look for me. Don't look at me. Keep me out of your thoughts.
Bye. I knew if I gave you the space, you would give me some gold. And you delivered.